Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswarji, beloved Master, Paramhansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet and ask thy blessings on our lives, on this satsang. Be with us in everything we do. May we feel thy presence, thy touch of love in our hearts, in our minds, in our souls. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We'll chant and meditate a few minutes now. Brahmananda Paramasukharam Kevalam Jnanamurti Dvaititam Gadanasadrisham Tatomasya Ekam Nityam Go into meditation with the selection from Metaphysical Meditations now.
Mentally repeat, "Goodbye, blue house of heaven. Farewell, stars and celestial celebrities, and your dramas on the screen of space. Goodbye, flowers, with your traps of beauty and fragrance. You can hold me no longer. I am flying home. Adieu to the warm embrace of sunshine. Farewell, cool, soothing, comforting breeze. Goodbye, entertaining music of man. I stayed long, reveling with all of you, dancing with my variously costumed thoughts, drinking the wine of my feelings and my mundane will. I have now forsaken the intoxications of delusion. Goodbye, muscles, bones, and bodily motions. Farewell, breath, I cast thee from my breast. Adieu, heart throbs, emotions, thoughts, and memories. I am flying home in the plain of silence. I go to feel my heart throb in Him. I soar in the plane of consciousness, above, beneath, left, right, within and without, everywhere. To find that in every nook of my space home, I have always been in the sacred presence of my Father.
Meditate a few minutes now. Now from Affirmations for Self-Healing by Swami Kriyanandaji on self-expansion. Self-expansion is the essence of all aspiration. Why do we seek to possess things? Because by acquisition, we imagine we'll expand our dominion. Why do we seek to learn more? Because we think by enlarging our knowledge to expand our understanding. And why do we seek ever new experiences? Because we believe that through them we'll expand our awareness. When you stretch a lump of dough outward, it becomes not only broader, but thinner. Such often is the case when we stretch the mind only outwardly. Reaching out too far, we sacrifice depth in our lives. The self-expansion toward which all life aspires is of the spirit, an expansion of sympathy, of love, of the awareness that comes from sensing God's presence everywhere. Let's affirm together out loud, then more and more quietly, and then mentally. I feel myself in the flowing brooks, in the flight of birds, in the raging winds upon the mountains, in the gentle dance of flowers in a breeze, renouncing my little egoic self. I expand with my great soul self everywhere. I feel myself in the flowing brooks, in the flight of birds, in the raging wind upon the mountains, in the gentle dance of flowers in a breeze, renouncing my little egoic self. I expand with my great soul self everywhere. Now whispering, I feel myself in the flowing brooks, in the flight of birds, in the raging wind upon the mountains, in the gentle dance of flowers in a breeze, renouncing my little egoic self. I expand with my great soul self everywhere. And mentally, I feel myself in the flowing brooks, in the flight of birds, in the raging wind upon the mountains, the gentle dance of flowers in a breeze, renouncing my little egoic self. I expand with my great soul self everywhere. Pray silently with me now. Beloved Spirit and all that is, help me in my own nothingness to find myself one with all that is. We'll close meditation listening to a song by Swamiji, Dark Eyes. It was written for the eyes of Master's mother.
I've known them forever, they've haunted my slumber and called to me out of the deeps of space. The love that they promise has helped me remember another time, a caring embrace. Dark eyes in the morning, dark eyes in the evening, dark eyes in the starlight at end of day. Dark eyes that speak silence, they whisper, come find me. You'll never know true love if you stay. Now I seek them in the winter time, oh, I seek them in the spring. Those two dark eyes draw my heart away to where sun and moon sing. I laugh now in the summertime when ripples on the river play. I laugh soaring with the meadowlarks, love has made my heart gay. I laugh soaring with the meadowlarks, love has made my heart gay. slumber and call to me out of the deeps of space. The love that they promise has helped me remember another time, a caring embrace. Dark eyes in the morning, dark eyes in the evening, dark eyes in the starlight at end of day. Dark eyes that speak silence, they whisper, come find me. You'll never know true love if you stay. Now I seek them in the winter time, oh, I seek them in the spring. Those two dark eyes draw my heart away to where sun and moon sing. I laugh now in the summertime when ripples on the river play. I laugh soaring with the meadowlarks. Love has made my heart gay. I laugh soaring with the meadowlarks. Love has made my heart gay. I've known them forever. They've haunted my slumber and called to me out of the deeps of space. The love that they promise has helped me remember another time, a caring embrace. Another time, a caring embrace.
Om Shanti, Shanti. Have the whispers reading now. Let's have the lights on.
Good morning, everyone. This next reading is from Whispers from Eternity by Master Paramahansa Yogananda. Prayer demand 41. Wake me that I may know that the terrors of mundane delusions are only dreams. Wrapped in the blanket of hope, I slept long. I dreamed I was sitting on a throne, my face wreathed in smiles. My smiles withered, and the petals of my merriment dropped away one by one. Suddenly I beheld myself in rags, seated on the hard stones of poverty. I wept, and my teardrops fell on the unheeding, unrelenting stones of my present circumstances. The world passed by me in mocking silence. I cried out for thy help, and thou didst wake me at last through the force of my desperation. I laughed to find myself at neither rich nor poor, but safe forever in thy arms. Oh, waken all anxious souls from their dreams of smiling opulence and crying poverty. O maker of dream worlds, deliver me forever from the nightmares of disease and death. Wake me to immortality, wake me to unshaken calmness, that I may know the fears, terrors of mundane delusion to be only dreams. Om Guru.
From the Gita.
This is a reading from the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. All the effects of karma, action, are nullified in oneself, and one achieves liberation when ego attachment ceases, when one becomes centered in the wisdom, and when one's actions are offered up in sacrifice to the infinite. For such a person, both the act of self-offering and the offering itself are equally aspects of the one spirit. The fire of wisdom and the person making the offering are both spirit. In this realization, the yogi, freed from ego identification, goes straight to Brahma, spirit. Any karma action performed has consequences, no less so in the case of a liberated master than of the worldly person. The difference is that since the actions of a master are not performed with ego identification, the effects of that action are not bound to ego and flow out freely into the world, bringing only beneficial results. Their objective rewards are reaped by those who are in tune with them and accept them lovingly. It is important for people, when they perform any religious ritual, to understand the hidden purpose of ritual itself. If it is truly religious in nature, it serves the symbolic purpose of offering up the ego up into a higher reality. Even a simple bow is a gesture of self-offering. The ego, which is physically centered in the medulla oblongata at the base of the brain, becomes relaxed at that point when one bows and is offered forward. At least such is the intention. Properly, that offering should be made to the spiritual eye in the forehead, the positive pole of the medulla. People generally, however, consider their bows as outward gestures to something or to someone before them. Aarti, a ceremony of waving light before an altar, is a symbolic offering of one's own light and energy up to God. Puja is performed by offering all the five senses, signifying ego consciousness, up to God's representation on the altar. Yagya offers ghee, purified butter, and rice into the sacrificial fire, again to symbolize various aspects of self-offering.
Good morning and welcome to everyone. It's a joy to share with you today on this topic of ego transcendence. And we were doing the fire ceremony earlier. Most of you were there, and you could just feel we're offering ourselves, we're offering our desires, we're offering our attachments, we're offering our habits, we're offering the past life attachments and seeds of karma we're offering from this life, we're offering. When we chant, we're offering. No, when we meditate, we're offering ourselves up. When we serve, we're offering ourselves up. Our whole path is about self-offering, ego transcendence, becoming what we really are, which is the soul. And Master Yoganandaji, he would carry a mirror with him sometimes. And one saint that he met was saying, "I am God." And Master said, he was Makunda at that time. He was a boy. And he said, no, don't ever say that you are God. He says, no, I am God. So Master, he pulls a mirror out and he shows him his face. And he says, does this look like God to you? You are not God, but we are a spark. like the chant we were chanting earlier, I am the bubble, make me the sea. How can I expand myself, my consciousness, or my reality, my awareness of who and what I really am? There's a wonderful story Swami Kriyanandaji would tell us often, and it's in the path, the new path. He talks about a saint, Namdev, who he heard this story from a saint in India when Swamiji was here. And Namdev had a friend, a peer saint, who was also very great. And so he went to this saint's satsang. Namdev went to this saint's satsang. And the saint was a potter as well. So, and the way he could see if the pots were cracked was he would slap them. And then a sound would emit if they were cracked, and he would know this pot I can't use. So in his satsangs, this is a true story, he would go around and he would hit people, and he would slap them and rap them with his knuckles, and this really happened. And so the devotees thought, well, he's a great saint, so it's okay. But Namdev was in the group, and he was also a great saint. So this fellow comes around, he's knocking everybody in the head, and he comes to Namdev and he raps him with his knuckles. And Namdev says, why did you hit me like that? And the saint said, there seems to be a crack in this pot. And everybody started laughing. And so Namdev was completely embarrassed. I mean, he was a great saint. He goes to the temple, he goes in front of Lord Krishna, and he says, why did you embarrass me like that? He says, well, Namdev, there is a crack in that pot. And that's the thing. We all think there's no cracks in the pot, but there's lots of cracks. And when we get on the path, we start to fix the pot and make it perfect. But we have to start where we are. Master said, Guruji, he said, I killed Yogananda long ago. There's no ego now. No one dwells in this temple, in this pot, you could say. No one dwells in this temple now but God. And I met a wonderful devotee in San Francisco, Ananda House, years back. You might have heard this. His name was a beautiful name, Shunyabai, Brother Zero. No, I'm just here to serve God, to be a channel for God. And Master would look out at the audiences and his disciples, and he would say at different times, I see you all as light. You don't know how beautiful you are. Everything is filled with light, the trees, the grass, the flowers, and you all are filled with light. And that's where we're headed, to be completely filled with light, to be completely one with the infinite. But that takes time. And in the beginning, we have to start from where we are. So then Master, with different disciples, he would work with them to improve upon themselves and to be able to release the ego. And I was thinking of one story of Yoganandaji when he was himself, he was on a ship coming from India going to America. You know the story. And, people think that they are doing everything. I am giving the talk, I'm chanting, I'm doing whatever it is, but it's God's power. What would you be able to do without God's power? You wouldn't even be able to get up in the morning. You couldn't see, you couldn't breathe, you couldn't eat, you couldn't walk, you couldn't talk. Why do people think it's them, that they're the doer? God is the doer. And so Master was going to America, and he knew God was the doer. And someone asked him if he would give a talk. And on the ship, he barely knew English. And he said, okay. The thing is, he said, okay. He didn't know English well. It was his very first talk, likely. So he stands there and nothing comes out, and no words. Then people started laughing. They were a lot of, I don't know, different people, but they started laughing at him. And And he inwardly started praying to his guru to help him. This is a wonderful point to remember. If we can keep in our minds that what can we do without God's power? We can't, but God can do anything. So Master kept praying to God, and he heard the voice of his guru saying, "You can speak." And Master gave a wonderful talk for 45 minutes. He didn't even know what he said. He had to ask, what did I talk about? But still, it was God's power. But Swamiji said something very interesting at a wonderful point to remember. He said that we are like a bundle, is the word he used, a bundle of self-definitions. I'm Black, I'm white, I'm Indian, I'm a woman, I'm a man, I'm an engineer, I'm a computer scientist, and it goes on and on and on. And we just bundled ourselves up till we're just not free. But in the middle of that is who and what we really are. So meditation starts cutting the bundle away. You start realizing who you are. And Swamiji told a very sweet story of a disciple, brother disciple, who around the same theme, he didn't like Indian food. He was an American. He didn't like Indian food, but he would eat it. And Swamiji said to him one day, "Why are you eating it? You said you don't like Indian food." He says, "I don't, but I want to be born in India in my next lifetime." So sweet. But the thing is, we think that that's who and what we are, isn't it? We're hypnotized. It's a hypnotism. This is who I am. But as you stay on the path, you discover that you're so much more. And how do we get out of the thought of ego, the thought of self? The ego, as what reading said, the ego is the soul attached to a body. This is me. But behind that ego is really who and what we are. And so how do we get out of it? Well, meditation helps us for sure. I was reading in the Bhagavad Gita earlier this week. It said, Krishna told Arjuna clearly, he said, seva helps and bhakti helps and whatever. These are all fine. But he told his disciple, be thou a yogi. Be a yogi. Practice yoga. And he also said in the Bhagavad Gita, even a little bit of the practice of this religion inner religion will free you from dire fears and colossal sufferings. What does that mean? Will free you from the attachment within. Now, how does that happen? When we do our practices, and some of you are Kriya Bond, some of you are about to get Kriya, but it's such a wonderful practice because you cut the sense telephones that are calling you outside of yourself. Your energy is going out to the world. I like this, I don't like this, I'm attached to this, I have to have this, I have this desire. And when you do Kriya, you make a big magnet in the spine by the practice, the pranayama practice. You become very magnetic within. And what happens? All the outward going energy, it goes back inside. And instead of saying, I'm this and I'm that, and I'm this, you say, I'm what's in my spine. I'm within what's in the chakras. I am the light. I am the Om. I am the bliss, samadhi bliss. That's what I am really. So meditation cuts the senses, withdraws the energy back in and up to the spiritual eye. There was a wonderful example of this with a fellow who is a disciple of Master. It's the perfect story. I just have to tell you, even if you've heard it. But this man's name was Bob Raymer, and he was a millionaire. He was, came to Master, and he came and he said, I want to learn this Kriya Yoga, is what he called it. And Master said, come on in. So he comes in, and Master had his photo album of his family members on his table, and he had some sweets, and the man keeps talking to him about learning. And so Master he says, look at this is my brother, and these are my sisters. And the man keeps saying, but I come to learn the Kriya Yoga. And Master has some mithai and he keeps feeding it in his mouth, and he's opening him up, obviously. And so they talk for a while. And the man says, but really, I came to learn how to meditate. And Master said, okay, tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Now, of course, we don't give Kriya that way. The man comes back, and the next day at 10 o'clock, and Master initiates him. And he said, now, when you go to your hotel, you practice. And he said, and don't drink. He normally would have 2 martinis every night. And he said, I didn't drink because my guru told me not to. So I went back, I sat on my bed, I began to meditate, and I did this Kriya Yoga. I began to do it. And he said, I only had done just a few. And then suddenly the energy just rose up my spine and up to the spiritual eye. And he said, I was so filled with joy. This is in one day. I was so filled with joy. I started to cry. I started to laugh. I fell off the bed. I was crying. I was laughing. And I said, I've been waiting for this my whole life. Now, was he in ego? He was completely in bliss, completely in the light, completely in the chakras, completely in Om. When you can meditate and go inside, instead of being pulled outside, ego's not there. Ego's balanced then. But if you have no control over it, you're doing all kinds of things, and it's not really you. So every day, take a taste of who and what you really are through meditation. Sit and feel the blessings, feel the bliss in the spine, feel the bliss in the chakras, feel hear the Om sound. Let's look at the light and feel this is who and what I am, not all the other. And the second part that really helps to break the boundaries of ego is seva, getting out of yourself. Now, when I first came to Ananda, I didn't know about seva. I thought, well, it's nice if you can help and whatever. But once I got to Ananda, I saw everybody was serving, everybody racing here and there, doing this and that. And they were changing. They were getting out of themselves. They were getting out of the I, me, and mine by just serving. And I was thinking of Swami Kriyanandaji and how much one person could do. He came to Yoganandaji and he said to him, I've come for what I can give you, not what you can give me. And look what he did. What he was able to write so many books and write so many pieces of music and give so many lectures and build communities and on and on and on, because he opened himself. Now, if he wasn't open, that was the power of God that was flowing through him to do everything that he did. If he had a big ego, that wouldn't have happened. Let's face it, he wouldn't have been a channel. He was a channel. When he wrote Bhagavad Gita, which Master wrote and he edited, which Nitendra was reading earlier, I remember at the beginning, Swamiji said, well, I'm not able to write. And then the next day he says, I'm writing now. He said, Master is writing this book through me. What a beautiful thing to keep in mind. He opened himself to God's power. And he said, Master said, I prayed to Ved Vyasa to write this through me. So he opened himself as well. So, and Swamiji wrote that book in 2 months, 600 pages of such depth, such deep teachings, because he opened himself as a channel. And so for all of us, as we are on the path, if we can meditate, we start breaking that thought of ego. As we serve, we start breaking that thought of ego. And remember what Master said, the channel is blessed by what flows through it. And to be in tune with me, serve my work. And finally, from the Bible, he would quote this, to all those who received God. He gave the power to become the sons of God. All those who were open, God's power comes in and changes you. And I'll close with this story of Brindaban, when the two penniless boys in Brindaban. It's such a wonderful story. So his brother, Ananta, he challenges Master and says that, you believe in God, that God is your source of power, that God helps you, but I'm going to put you to the test. I'm going to send you to Brindaban. And tells his little friend to go with him. And he says, and you must not ask for money. You must not take any money. You must not let anybody know your circumstance. And the Master said, I'll do it. Because he knew that it was God's power behind him, behind everything. So Master goes and, he said he had in his mind all the blessings that he had received in his whole life from Divine Mother. And he just names all of them in the autobiography. And he goes there, and the men on the train, they take them to Gauri Ma's house, and the princes didn't come. And so they had this feast of 12 or 14 dishes. And then afterwards, a boy comes to him at the railway station. And he says, aren't you my guru? And he says, no, I'm not. He says, no, you are my guru. And he says, wait here. And he goes and gets some prasad, and he brings it back. And Master initiates the boy, and the boy gives him lots of money. What an incredible story. Because Master said it's Divine Mother who's behind everything. It's not, I have to find my way. I have to get on the train. I have to go find food. I have to find my way back home. Everything happens. He comes back home. An amazing thing happened that his brother said, Ananta, who was severe, Master said, he said, if you come back having passed all the tests, I'll take initiation from you. Never happens. Master comes back and the little friend, and he showers the table with rupees. And the brother just can't believe what happened, but he understands from the other boy, and he takes initiation from Makunda. It's an amazing story, but think about it. Well, how did that happen? Divine Mother. He trusted, he had the faith, he opened himself, he asked her for help. And it wasn't me, I have to do it, I have to do it. I think the point is, for this topic, do your part, but open yourself, open the floodgates for God to help you in every situation. If you're a teacher, if you're a yoga teacher, a meditation teacher, or you're playing the harmonium, or you're setting up for the temple, or you're late for the class, or whatever, just feel that it's not really me. It's God serving through me. God bless you all. Let's meditate a moment. Feel the divine presence blessing you now. Blessing your soul to open up to God's grace, God's power, God's light. Om, Om, Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Please stand now for the arati.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram.
Let's close now. Visualizing souls in need everywhere, sharing with them the light, the joy, the presence of God and gurus we felt today. Let's rub our hands together and chant Om 3 times, sending these vibrations out to those in need and out to the whole world. Om. 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 Divine Mother, great masters, saints of all religions, we offer our lives, body, mind, and soul to Thee. Help us to realize our greater soul self through our practices, our devotion, and through your grace. We are Thine. Be Thou eternally ours. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Many blessings to you all. And you want to make an announcement?
Thank you so much, Dhyana ji. Thank you, everyone. We'll now move to the Diya room for Prashad. And the level 4 class is going to be in this room. Dhyana ji is going to be with us. So the level 4 students, please come back at 11:30. And the level 2 class is in the Ashirvad room. Have a wonderful day and a great week ahead. Yes, ma'am. So if there are people who are not in level 4, but they have time, they can as well come to the part that Dhyana ji is going to lead from 11:30. So you can be in the Anand room as well. The topic is pitfalls on the spiritual path. Dhyana ji will be talking to us from 11:30 to about 12:15, 12:30. So everyone is welcome for that as well. Thank you.